Good morning to all our amazing guests who are joining us here at IFX Expo Asia. I'm Toby, your host in Idea Hub. Think of me as your tour guide through today's big ideas, bright minds, and bold conversation. So, we're starting strong with Guardians of Data. Rethinking cybersecurity for Fintech 2.0. Get ready to meet the real guardians of the data. As AI and open banking open new frontiers, let's explore how fintechs and financial players can keep data secure, system resilient, and customer trust rock solid. Please welcome Dicky Wong, CEO at Syber Couture, and Otto Lee, head of Hong Kong Computer Emergency Response Team Coordination Center.
Welcome, and thank you very much for having us. Since Otto and I are good friends, so it's more of a chit chat for us in the industry. So before I start off, we might have Otto, good friend, to introduce about his background first.
Thank you, Dicky. My name is Otto Lee. I'm the head of education. I'm not sure whether you know what is education in many locations over the world. There's a center looking after the security instance over there. Just as in Singapore, we have the sensor. In Japan, we have the JP shirt, and in mainland China, we have the CN shirt, and in Hong Kong, we have the SK shirt. For myself, I have been working in cybersecurity and information security for more than 20 years. That's it, and I will pass it back to Dicky.
Thank you, Otto. He's too humble. So myself, my background in the cybersecurity industry is I used to be in the Hong Kong police force. I spent 11 years as a cyber cop, and after that I went to a local conglomerate to be a CISO, and after that I now started my own company. So today we're going to bring the topic into this stage that's slightly different to the main stage where all the crypto tradings are, or all the trading platforms are. My first question would be, so from Hong Kong CERT perspective, what are the most significant cybersecurity challenges that Fintech 2.0 companies faces today compared to the first wave of Fintech?
Thank you, Dicky. So, in Fintech 1.0, actually the main purpose is to digitalize the banking applications. So that's why the risk at that time over there is talking about phishing, the malware, or the or for the website they face. But for the Fintech 2.0s, there are many different changes. They are talking about the AI, talking about the API as well, and also about the cloud native. So actually, there are many things different, and also about the third-party integrations. So I will mention about, I can say there are some three top challenges. The first one is about the API security. What we are seeing, there are many poor secure API can really need the sensitive data. The second one is about the supply chain risk. I think in the last few months, you will see many news about all over the world, just as the Mark and Spencer, the Qantas airline. There are many data leak or many attacks done to the third-party chain. And the third one is about cloud security. Many cases is due to the misconflict about the cloud environment. So what I'm seeing, the threats in 2.0 is the threats are faster and more targeted. And also what I'm seeing, as you may know, I was in AWS before. So what I'm seeing about the cloud security now is really inseparable with the fintech. And now we need to be more proactive but not reactive. Thank you, Dicky.
Right, I think, supply chain risk has been an issue that we always want to tackle, and it's getting more serious nowadays. Like, as you mentioned 2 weeks ago, when AWS in the US is pretty much went offline and a lot of things were affected, there was a lot bigger damage or impact than people were expected, and then it just hit people with don't know what to do. Okay, now let's bring to the second question. in the fintech world, data is the most important things because we're using data, we're leveraging data to do analytics, prediction, trade, decision making, and all that stuff. Now, as a guardian of the data, what would be your recommendation on the practical steps should fintech firm take to protect those sensitive customer information, confidential information, while still innovating quickly? Otto?
Thanks. After these questions, I will ask Dicky. So I always say security and innovation, actually, they are not enemies. Actually, they can decide to work together. Yeah. As before I joined HK Shop and before I joined AWS, I was in Reuters and Thomson Reuters working for close to 20 years. So at that time, I am one of the, what we call the engineer to work out what we call is the data feed to be used all over the world for those bands, iBands. So I know the importance about the trading and about the importance about the latency. And then I work in the global team within the Reuters and Thomson Reuters on cybersecurity. At that time, we call information security. So with that background, I would like to say, turn to my background, actually, when I was in the global team, I really the one to drive the application security or the security SDLC. Yeah. So I would like to say the first, the most important is about the security by design. We need to have to build the security into the DNA of the products in the day one. I also mentioned about I was in AWS before. So that's why cloud security is very, very important. We need to manage the access, the identity. We also need to encrypt the data when they are at rest or during the transit as well. So 3 steps. I think it's more practical. One is about the security by design. We need to have the security considered during the day one. And then zero trust. We need to ensure every access request, no matter internal or external, we need to ensure we need to check. We also need to minimize the privilege. And the last one about the cloud-native security controls. Many CSP, no matter they are from all over the world, they offer many built-in security controls. We need to do it. We need to use them to automate those combined tracking. Again, fintech firms actually they do not need to fear about the security. We only need to build the security earlier, and then we can innovate faster. And in order to spend the time to do the firefighting about the data breach. Thank you, Dicky.
Yeah, I think it's a very good step. Definitely the step one is security by design mindset. Everything we have to build with the security framework or policy at the base to start the innovation around that. I think we have something very common. Actually, before my career in the police force, I actually spent 5 years in Bloomberg.
Yeah.
So we were competitor.
Yes.
And then, at that time, I was doing FX trading, building FX trading platforms for institutions.
Yeah.
And that's where I got my curiosity about data security. And when I was doing my API coding for the traders, I keep on thinking, wow, what happened? Will someone steal all this information, your competitor?
Yeah.
It'll be. That's why I'm very honored to be here to speak with all these FX people as well. Third question. If you could predict the major cybersecurity trend, or what are the upcoming threats in the next, I don't know, few years, few months, what would you suggest and what would it be? And how should the whole industry get prepared?
I think I was talking about the AI-powered cyber attack. What we are seeing is really AI is really easy to work out the phishing website, phishing emails is very fast. And also they are very easy to do the automated scanning about the vulnerability over the internet. So AI is the number one. We also foresee there are some autonomous which they can do the scanning, especially now in the cloud-native environment, many things they are automated. So that's why what we are suggest to the industry about using the AI as well to do the defense. Yeah. And the one is really to harden the their security posture, especially in the cloud environment. They can do many different built-in scanning or tools to do the hardening as well and doing the real-time scanning. And the last one about is really to build the resilience whenever there's any data breach. They need to know how to do the containment and also do the recovery. Yeah, this is all I want to share, Dicky.
Yeah, I think it's very good. Like AI is a hot topic that we all talk about on a daily basis. And would you think AI is like a double-edged sword? People use AI to launch attack, but at the same time, company will have to adapt AI to protect their attack faster.
Yes, and for us, even for ourselves, we are using the AI to defense those hackers. They are using the AI to try to do the attack. We has been using AI model trained by using our own data, and then whenever on phishing. So what we are doing is whenever there are any new website being created, we're using our model. We try to check whether this model is it possible to be a phishing website. We will give every new website a score, and then after the score, my team will look into them manually to see whether they are really malicious website. If yes, we will do some kind of takedown or ask the owner to see whether this is the website you are expecting. So again, AI is a very powerful tool for the hackers and also for the defender as well. We use, again, many things working very fast. So AI, of course, for two parties, we need to use it more efficiently.
Understood. I think AI is always a big challenge, brings you headache and brings you benefit as well. So yeah, so that's all my questions.
Yes, and then now it's my turn to ask Dicky the questions. Okay, my first question is about how can fintech best balance the demand for regarding for the freshness, the user experience against the multi-layered security. Yeah, what's the line where the security affect the growth and adoption? Dicky.
Yeah, I think for fintech, what I've saw, so from my observation is when I go back to the old days when I was at Bloomberg doing FX trading, doing FX APIs for traders, and now move to the fintech industry, is a lot of things is moving a lot faster and more complex in the algorithm working behind, and et cetera, and how to make sure everything is secure and reliable is that in security we have to be doing a multi-layer defense system.
Yeah.
When we talk about multi-layer defense is, for example, we will have to think about the infrastructure of the fintech company that they're adopting. Let's, for example, infrastructure meaning if their algorithm is running on a cloud, so should it be thinking about running on cloud and also hybrid mode on premises as well? Because let's say take AWS as an example. If everyone's relying on AWS running their algorithm and doing all this trading, and then suddenly the supply chain just dies, your business is pretty much corrupted, okay? So would you be thinking about multi-layer defense, multi-cloud deployment? That's one thing. And second of all is about the trading algorithms. How do you protect it? How do we protect those data that we're using to trade? Where are those data actually rely on and installed on? And how long should we be keeping those data for? Okay, these are the things that we all need to consider. But of course, business will think about, wow, that means we need to invest a lot. The fact is, yes, it's business, right? If you don't invest, you don't get your return back. So in order, it's part of the confidence that you need to build to give to your customers and the public as well. So multi-layer defense. Obviously, you collaborate with the industry, you speak with the experts, and at the same time, you can be more innovative on the technology that you're using to trade as well.
Thanks, Dicky. I need to explain a bit why. We always talking about the supply chain. I am not sure whether any of you has think about. Is there anything we can do to fight against the supply chain?
Yeah, I think It's funny, right? This is a practical question or a scenario. So I had this bank that came to me and say, Dicky, I'm going to open up a branch in Hong Kong. And I say, okay, congratulations and welcome to Hong Kong. And how can I help you? And they were like, Dicky, I'm going to onboard this core banking and core trading system into my environment. I say, okay. And he say, how can I protect myself better? Then we start going into cyber insurance. Yep. We're talking about different methods to ensure the suppliers or the core system suppliers providing services to your company, to your customer, making sure that they don't mess up.
Yep.
And they still get the protection of the customer. So we start talking about cyber insurance, what are the angles that we need to cater, think about, and in order to get the cyber insurance, what you need to prove to the insurer that they can insure you, right? You cannot tell them, okay, I'm open up to attack, insure me, please. It's not going to work. Yeah. So cyber insurance is something that we went down the road to talk about.
Thanks, Dicky. I also want to share a little bit. When I was in AWS, I looking after the security assurance in the APAC. So what I'm seeing at that time, there are many regulators all over the APAC. They need to assure how AWS, as the service provider, should assure their service. So that's why, and when you are going to pick a very good service provider, there are many criteria. You can see that whether the provider, they have sufficient security controls by themselves, just as do they have all or most common the ISO standard, no matter in security, in privacy, and on cloud security. And also about the agreement. Even though they are the big vendors, actually for us as the enterprise, we can make use of the agreement, the service agreement, to govern the service provider. They need to ensure they need to provide the certain level of the security control or up to some standards. This is something actually, some of the ways you can how to manage the third-party risk. So my other question to Dicky. Okay, the next question is, as fintech now is really rely on third-party APIs and also the cloud infrastructure, how should the responsibility for cybersecurity be shared between fintech, the technology partners, and also among with the cloud provider? And also, what does the effective shared responsibility look like? Is more practice and can it be being audited?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. I mean, if we ask any other companies right now, how many APIs connections they have within their organization, I don't think anyone can tell you an exact answer.
Yeah.
A lot of things is all multi-layer integrated in order to run the whole operation. So I think the best practices is when you look for vendors, when you look for business technology partners and everything, you just need to have the mindset of collaborating, to building up an environment or multi-layer that is actually secure for your environment. Because what I see from a lot of companies, especially when I was in the police, I investigated a lot of cyber attacks, even many, many years ago when crypto just came, Mount God in Japan, when we were talking with Interpol and FBI, say, how did it all happen? I'm not going to share too much confidential information, but what I would say is a lot of companies is working very silo with one and two vendors. For example, they want to do something, they would just engage this vendor and talk about their business terms and their usage. But in reality, that vendor will have to integrate with another vendor. But then they didn't establish that dialogue, and it's just working like different vendor in different silo. But then when they want to put everything together, then it starts to come to the problem is how secure is the API integration between two vendors? Who's going to take what responsibility?
Yeah.
Where the responsibility lie? And when it comes to audit, this is a classic example. Everyone's like, that's not my area. It's not my responsibility. And then it just leaves the business owner in a big shadow. They're like, okay, so how to fix this problem now? And then, of course, they was like, okay, let's get a CISO in place. And then the CISO will be like, okay, so it's a big mess now. So What do we do? And then everyone just stopped. So I think the main question of all is like whatever vendor that you inquire, whatever vendor you play with and collaborate with, you got to be having an open mindset to explain to them, okay, this is objective, this is a ultimate goal, what we're trying to achieve from our operation. And then to ensure before everything stitch up and work together, everything is secure.
Yeah. Shared responsibility is really a very common topic. Actually, when you are using the service provider, using the CSP, who is responsible? I do think there's many enterprises when they are using the managed service, they assume the duty is not them but to the providers, but it's not the cases. Yeah. We need to know even you outsource your IT to the vendors. You as an enterprise, you are still the one and only one to be responsible because you are the one and only one being challenged by the regulators. Yeah. My next question to Dicky is, what do you see as the upcoming threat in the finance industry?
Yeah, obviously you mentioned about AI. I think AI, to me, after researching AI and playing AI so many years, it's always going to be a topic, and it's a threat, and it's evolving at a big time. But for me, from now on, looking ahead 5 years later, I think the biggest challenge will be quantum computing. So if you look over the weekend in the US, IBM and there's another company I completely forgot. They are actually building up a lot of quantum computers for basically the public can use. So where quantum computing comes to the threat. So if you're into tech, into cyber, like Otto and myself, quantum computing, the biggest threat is on the encryption, right? They can decrypt things a lot faster than before. And with that capability, that means a lot of information will be in threat on their sensitive information being stolen, and also disrupting business operations, especially in finance. So I think it's good to start looking at quantum computing and post-quantum cryptography as well. It's a topic that and areas that fintech companies should be start adapting to, either software or hardware. We collaborate, like my company collaborate with a lot of big tech giants like IBM, Lenovo, LPS, and all these kind of people. So we are already staying ahead or thinking ahead how to build in a PQC, post-quantum cryptography environment in Hong Kong, and to build solutions for the big trading centers in Hong Kong as an international hub of finance in Hong Kong.
Yes, actually, for myself and my friends, maybe around 1 or 2 years ago, we are really start talking about the PQC, the post-quantum. But at that time, we are also seeing there are some conferences in Hong Kong, they are talking about the post-quantum. But I don't know the reason why suddenly in the last 1 year, it's very silent. But I totally agree with Dicky. In the coming very quickly, people will talk about the post-quantum again. Because they are, as far as I understand, many enterprises, they are really worried about the post-quantum, but maybe because in Hong Kong, there are new ordinary about the CI is coming out. That's why suddenly about the post-quantum is being silenced. But after the CI, the ordinary is being announced, it's more clear. I think the people in Hong Kong, they will come back to the topic about post-quantum again. So for any vendors, if you may have very good shoes about the post-quantum, please come to Hong Kong. I do really see there are many big demands in Hong Kong. Yeah. So
I think just to add on top, in Hong Kong, we assume we will have a critical infrastructure law in place. So basically, the government is putting regulations to making sure the critical infrastructures in Hong Kong are fully comply with the highest level of cybersecurity requirement and standard. Banking and finance sector is already included in it.
Yeah.
Fintech, crypto, everything will be coming on the next wave. So post-quantum cryptography will be very much in line of the need in the upcoming future, especially the next 3 to 5 years is definitely a key role.
Yeah. Dicky, so do you want to share with the audience more about the CI or
Sure.
ordinary? Yeah.
Sure. Coming from a cybersecurity perspective, nowadays you're seeing a lot of cyber attacks happening around the world. When we talk about critical infrastructures, the organizations that are providing the core operation systems to Hong Kong or for a particular country. In the US, there are 16 sectors that are classified as critical infrastructures: water supply, utilities, energy, power plant, airport, etc., etc. In Hong Kong, we have 8 sectors: finance, utility, transportation, maritime, airport, MTR, tube. And those are the areas that the government are very, very much focused, not just in Hong Kong, but globally. If you look at the United Nations and also the World Economic Forum that just happened in Dubai, people talked about critical infrastructure protection. And for me, my company does a lot of consulting to many critical infrastructures in Hong Kong. But the one I still worry the most is about the financial sector. Although they have a very good mechanism by the HKMA, still technology is moving so fast that it's just relying on regulators is not enough. Players itself needs to take this seriously and implement good practices into their own environment. And hence, I won't say my prediction, but I did some research. I think quantum and PQC will be the next big thing in Hong Kong and in the market, in the need.
Yeah, thank you, Dicky. So now, do we want to ask the audience any questions?
Anyone has any question apart from us two talking? Now, I know you guys are enjoying the whole crypto, not crypto, but trading floor environment. If you have any cyber stuff here you want to ask, we are happy to open to answer.
Or do you have any expectation when you come to Hong Kong? I'm not whether you are really always coming to Hong Kong, but you come to Hong Kong, you come to this conference. Do you want to have any takeaway on cybersecurity? Anything you want to share with us?
Yeah, I think these 2 weeks will be a great week for Hong Kong for finance. Now you have this IFX Expo.
Yeah.
Next week there's a Hong Kong Fintech Week. I'll be there talking about cybersecurity as well. So enjoy Hong Kong. Welcome to Hong Kong. Hong Kong is still an international trading hub. So please bring more business in here. It's a great place.
So maybe it is time for us to do some web about our key takeaways. So let me do first. I do prepare something. So as during just now our discussion between Dicky and myself, Fintech 2.0 actually they have many incredible opportunities, but also they have larger, fast-moving threat landscape as well. My takeaway is quite simple. The first thing, security, we need to build into the product in the day one. Day one is normally, as I was in the AWS, we always talking about, everything we need to be in the day one. So we use the statement. Security needs to be in the product in the day one. Security by design is not an optional. My second takeaway is, in the cloud-native world, we need to master cloud security, and we need to continue to monitoring our cloud environment using their built-in security controls or using some third-party control as well. My last takeaway is, we need to stay ahead of some emerging threats. So no matter the AI powered cyber threat or the quantum one, or no matter about the cyber, the supply chain as well, we need to work together and to share about the intelligence. This I want to share a little bit. And we are as I mentioned before, and we work closely with others all over the world, just as from Singapore, Australia, from mainland China to CNS. We receive some threat intelligence from other or from other channels as well. For us, when we receive that threat intelligence, we will share with the enterprise in Hong Kong, no matter they are the banks or no matter they are the enterprise. So that's why threat intelligence is very important. And also for us, we work closely with the local regulator, HKMA, SFC. So whenever we have any threat intelligence affecting the whole financial industry, we will share with the regulator as well. So that's why threat sharing is very important, especially now things is moving very fast. Something happening in Japan may be very quick happening in Hong Kong. So we need to ensure those threat sharing is really working more efficiently. So my last sentence is about trust is really the currency of the fintech. If we can get the data, we can get the trust as well. And we need to enable innovation more efficiently. So this is my takeaway. So Dicky, it is your time.
Yeah, my takeaway is very simple. I always say, just always assume that you have already been hacked, unless you can prove to the people that you have not, right? Being working in a cyber cop for over 11 years, I have been liaison with other law enforcement agencies like Interpol, Europol, FBI, CIA, you name it. Everywhere around the world, we all share the same thing. Cyber criminals are just same as any other humans, but they do hacking for their living.
Yeah.
And if they want to do hacking for their living, they will look for the big boys. They will look for industry that has the good crown jewels and money. So that's my takeaway for you guys to have a think how you're going to protect better yourself. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So if you have any questions offline after our session, you can come to us. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing.